This is episode 13 of the Peat podcast. James, Maddoc, Tristan back again. And the NBA free agency, the offseason is in full swing. It's underway. Uh, Quick recap, obviously. We all picked the Thunder to win the finals. Maddoc, I do remember you made that statement that if the Pacers were going to win that finals, they had to win game one. And you were right. They came out, won game one.
Mhm.
So we got to acknowledge that real quick. But the Thunder ultimately prevailed with a little bit of luck. Tyrese Halliburton going down with an Achilles injury. You hate
So
to see it.
devastating.
Yeah, that killed the finals. But who cares about small market teams because now free agency has started and we have had some major moves made and we're here to break it down for you all here right now. I think we'll start with Maddoc, obviously, because of the header underneath. You can see the Lakers haven't made much of a splash this free agency, but they did when it mattered most here earlier this late afternoon. They signed DeAndre Ayton. Maddoc, how are you feeling about that signing?
I am feeling very, very good. It just feels nice to have players in the building, because over the last couple of days, there's been all of this speculation, oh, maybe they don't want to get Aiton. They let Clint Capella get signed by the Rockets. They let Brook Lopez get signed by the Clippers. So both of those, not that I liked those guys anyway, but they are centers, and we don't have any centers besides Maxi Kleber right now. So, but over the last couple of days, there's been a lot of speculation. Oh, they're working on trades. They are, discussing trades for certain players, and nothing ever happens from that for the Lakers. That never materializes into anything, I swear. So just being able to have a former first overall pick, 7-footer who is at least competent, is so nice, and I'm excited to see by how much his game gets elevated while playing next to Luka Doncic, who's infamous for taking mediocre centers and making them very, very good. So I'm really excited about this signing.
I agree with it, pretty much everything. There's not a whole lot to add. Aiden averaged 14 and 10 this last year, on they took a little step forward, but Portland Trailblazers were not very good this year. Had to play next to Anthony Simons, but I think he's a capable lob threat. I think the same knocks that were on him coming out of college are still there. He's not an elite defender. Hopefully that gets a
Oh,
little better. Whoa, we lost
we
Tristan.
lost Tristan.
I wonder if I
Next man
gotta.
up. Keep going.
Yeah, exactly. Matt, back to you. No, but I wonder if I need to send him another invite real quick just to make sure that he can. Oh, there we go. He's back. There he
Okay.
is.
He's back.
Internet.
Yeah, I don't even know what happened.
That's crazy. Yeah, we were like, oh, lost him. Yeah, Aiden obviously not a great defender coming out of college, but he has shown that he's improved his mid-range game a little bit. He's starting to take some threes. I think he took like 0.8 3-pointers per game this last season, which is a step up. Maybe he develops into a slightly better pick and pop player for the Lakers. Uh, I would ask Tristan his thoughts. It looks like he's kind of cut out right now. Oh, there
No,
we
he's
are.
back.
Am I
Tristan, what
back?
do
Am
you
I
think
back?
of it?
Okay.
Yes, you are. What do you think of the DeAndre Ayton signing for the Lakers?
This it's something I actually like a lot. I couldn't barely hear what Maddox said, but I think what he was saying is that he fits great next to Luca. Um, I do. I I wish they had a more defensive center than Aiden.
Hmm.
But I mean, there's more than one center on the roster. You can still get a defensive guy. Um, but offensively, I think Aiden fits really well with Lucas skill set. It could be um, a Harden Clint Capella 2018 esque team up.
I agree. That could work. The one thing I will say is I wouldn't have been mad if the Lakers had signed Brook Lopez instead, because Lopez with his
Oh
3-point
gosh,
shooting
I would
ability,
have been horrified.
I thought they were getting
because he
Capella.
not much of a lob threat, but he slowed down as a defender a little too. But that 3-point shooting would have been
Yeah,
his Luka.
I mean, I guess it gives you spacing, but the number one things you want are athleticism and next to Luca. At least
Yeah,
Aiden isn't the greatest defender in the world, but he can jump high. So
Yeah,
he's good at doing late contests, and he has averages a block and a half per game, something like that. So yeah, I think
better
the
than Jackson
archetype of
Hayes.
Aiden He's better than Jackson. He's worlds better than Jackson Hayes, and he's better than Clint Capella, and he's better than Brooke Lopez. Probably the best free agent center that was available. So happy with it for now.
I agree with that. Moving on now to a team that has made quite the splash. Tristan, how are we feeling about the Rockets?
Amazing. Cloud9. Fully believe we're winning the championship next year. I wrote down every move just so I could keep track of it. We added Kevin Durant, very obviously. Lost Jalen Green and Dylan Brooks. Love both of them. Happy that that's all we lost. We added Dorian Finney-Smith, who is going to be fitting great on our bench. We may have the best depth in the league next to OKC. Re-signed Fred VanVleet for half the money on 2 years.
That helps a lot.
Re-signed Jeff Green. He's a great mentor piece. Him and KD played together like 17 years ago. Re-signed Steven Adams. Best center in free agency before we re-signed him. I mean, I don't think I was wrong.
He was the best option for the Rockets for sure.
The Lakers would have thrown $50 million at him if he was available. We got Steven Adams and Clint Capella. Clint Capella on a cheaper contract than Lendale was on before we released him. To be our third string center. So pretty great. Love Clint Capella. Re-signed Jason Tate. He's the only guy that's still here from the first rebuild year. He's a dog. He barely gets any play time, but he's a dog. Re-signed Holiday, who's a great third guard. And then we extended Udoka and Jabari.
Pretty much, I mean, we haven't gotten into it yet because we will rank these, but that's like an S tier offseason for a team.
I could not ask for anything more.
2 seed.
Yeah.
Still have the Suns pick next year.
Exactly. Yeah, and the Suns.
Who's pick?
The Suns.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The Suns will probably be pretty with their 5 shooting guards or whatever.
The Suns could be feisty, I guess. Actually, they're in the West. Never mind.
Yeah, the Suns are going to get.
They're going to be a bottom 3 team in the West.
Yeah.
They might actually. Yeah. That's going to be bleak. Yeah. With that being said, we have covered your 2 teams. Obviously, do we want to start tier listing and breaking down?
Yeah.
Let's do it, man. All right.
So the offseason entails the draft, trades, free agency, coach changes. That's pretty much it, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess you could count like a team sale, like the Lakers sale in that, I suppose.
Yeah.
That's true.
Well, that will help the Lakers a lot, though, actually.
Eventually, once it finalizes. Get Pelinka out of the building. Oh, my gosh.
What's wrong with Rob Pelinka?
Everything.
Goodness gracious.
We need to do a GM ranking.
Oh, goodness.
To be fair, with what he had to work with, Rob blew up the bubble team. Never mind. That's right. I lose all respect for him just because of that. All right. Well, Let's start with another team that's been at the center of a lot of talk because they acquired a piece that could really help them this year. The Atlanta Hawks. Where do we put them in this offseason?
That's one last year.
Yeah, they got Porzingis. Who else did they get? I forget.
Nikhil Alexander-Walker.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, and what is his name? That shooting guard for the Pistons. Luke Kennard. He wasn't a Piston, was he?
Luke Kennard. They got the Pelicans' unprotected pick from next year, I think.
Yeah, they did. They moved back 2 spots and got the same guy they were going to draft for that pick 13.
Yep.
That's pretty crazy, yeah.
They're A or S tier, definitely.
I think it's S. That's like I have very high expectations for the Hawks. I mean, they're just deep with shooting and defense, which is like exactly what you want around.
They're big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trae Young's the shortest guy on the team.
Yeah, he's the only one under 6'5", I think.
Yeah. They did lose Larry Nance Jr. and Karis LeVert.
They did.
Yes, they did lose LeVert, but that's okay. They can live with that, especially with losing Larry Nance Jr. He's kind of just there now.
Larry Nance Jr., at least of the games I went to last year, he was kind of on fire.
He was solid.
Effective. Yeah, but the team.
Him and Joe, they also lost Georges Niang.
They did. That is true. You know what?
They lost a guy who talks a lot of crap. F tier just for losing Niang. No. But there's a lot to love about what the Hawks did, to be like, if we're being like really direct right now. Like Porzingis at the center with Jalen Johnson, Risha Shea, Nikhil Alexander-Walker, and Trey. If that's
Dyson
the starting
Daniels.
line.
Dyson Daniels.
Dyson Daniels. Luke Kennard is like the version of Kevin Huerter they always wanted, and now
Yeah.
he's gonna actually they'll actually have a capable 3-point shooter. And Trey's
And-
like weakness, his defense is gonna get hidden by all these lengthy, long guys.
Yeah, they're two. So Trey's going to be the point guard. Obviously, they're 2 to 5, and then 2 guys off of the bench are all like elite defenders. Because you didn't mention Onyeka Okongwu will also be there. I know Tristan doesn't like him as much. I think he's really good. Yeah. So I think I'm going to predict them to be the 1 seed in the East eventually. I think, assuming health.
Unless
I don't know
unless
about that
Porzingis gets AIDS, they should be the ones.
Again, we'll have to wait for our season prediction video.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah,
I'm
we
so
just
hyped
make
for
a
that.
prediction. Our way too early predictions video. We just start it now. That'd be fun.
I think. I think in terms of like the offseason for the Hawks, though, like honestly, you couldn't have imagined anything better than this. Like you added an all-star level talent in Kristaps Porzingis. You added like one of the guys that every team in the league wants, in Nikhil Alexander-Walker. And you're just continuing to give Trae Young the pieces to be able to make a run. And if they flame out in the first round this year, I don't think Trae will be on the Hawks. Because this is easily one of the best rosters in the East, easily top 3, I would think.
And it's definitely the best that Trae has ever had too.
It is.
Yes, it's definitely his best shot, and it's clear to me that they're going for it this year. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But at least they're going all in, which is really respectable. Because the East is wide open.
Yeah, exactly. They're going all in without giving up future assets, gaining assets even, because they got the Pelicans first round pick somehow.
Can you imagine if the Pelicans have a horrible year and that pick becomes a lottery pick and they get the guy from BYU?
I can very much imagine the Pelicans being bad. Like I do not think the Pelicans are going to be good.
I can imagine the Pelicans being bad, and the Hawks, if they aren't great and they do blow it up, have 2 lottery picks to start a rebuild.
So if they got AJ DeBonsa somehow, that would be insane.
It's possible.
Oh my goodness. Him on that Trae Young's team. Oh my gosh, they would have so much talent too, and under pretty good deals too. Anyway, moving on.
I'm excited for meaningful basketball again from the Hawks.
Me too.
Actually,
Lord.
It's been forever. Trae Young's just been stuck in NBA purgatory.
Trae Young's doing one-legged threes, and the team's losing by 30.
Trae Young and the Chicago Bulls in the play-in every year.
Yeah. And the Heat.
Boston. You too. The Boston Celtics.
I think we can give them. I think we can give them like a C. No, I would give them a C.
I gave the Celtics a C.
Yeah. I mean, how high can you put them for like just getting rid of their core and getting second-round picks for it? Like
they're doing salary dumps and they're getting okay guys in return, but it's still not good. Right? Like they're still a worse team.
Georges Niang is their starting power forward.
Yeah,
I'll leave it at that.
Yeah,
that's fair.
In 2025.
That's pretty crazy, actually. The Celtics are going to be interesting without Tatum to see like who steps up if Simon's actually.
They're going to be garbage. I think they're going to be terrible.
With Derek White, Jaylen Brown, and Anthony Simons,
they're letting Al Horford and Luke Cornett go. Their starting center is one of their second-round rookies.
Crazier things have happened, but yeah, they don't really have an elite playmaker. They'll have Peyton Pritchard still, though.
I still think the East is too weak for the Celtics to be that bad, but I think they're a first-round exit.
Yeah.
I mean, I could see them being a play-in team.
I was thinking anywhere from 6 to 10.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's crazy because the last 3 years we've always thought of the Celtics as like a juggernaut, considering they made the finals in 2022 with the Warriors. But like before that, they were like a first-round exit. They had the 1 year with Kyrie where they made the conference finals, but LeBron them. But they're going to be going back to like a first-round team, like kind of what we're used to seeing, like a set 8 or 7.
Let's go! We're so back.
Yeah, the Lakers fan out here praying on their downfall. He's like, yes. But yeah, no, actually, that's going to be weird to see that. The Brooklyn Nets.
Let's see.
I'm going to be
D?
honest. If we're counting the draft, they missed on the draft so bad, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like the Nets offseason outside of the draft.
Yeah,
But
they
the draft kind of
accumulated
brings
a
it all
ton of
down.
picks,
And then just
but
drafted
then they
4
used
point
those
guards.
picks. Yeah.
Bro, I'm surprised they weren't able to like package like 3 of those picks together and trade up or something. Like, why would you not?
I know.
There's
You
no
could have done
way they
that.
couldn't have. There's no way one team wouldn't have done that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. If you had given up 4, like first, the Thunder would have done that if they had a top 5 pick. The Thunder would have been like, "Fine, we'll take your 4 first rounders.
Right.
Oh,
I do
gosh.
think
Send them to the G League."
I like the Cam Johnson move because even with them getting like Michael Porter Jr. is a fine player to have on a team that's not going to do anything.
He'll chuck
And
up
then
every
you
shot,
get
man.
and then
I mean,
you
they
get
got a
future
they got a
first.
first round pick.
Yeah, they got
Yeah.
a future first round pick. That's a good trade for them. That's a win-win trade.
Yeah, agreed.
Plus, once Porter Jr.'s contract expires, the salary space they're gonna have because he's getting paid like what $40 million a year.
Something like that. They also got
Yeah.
Terrence Mann's contract, and that's also that we didn't talk about that for the Hawks. The Hawks started off with Terrence Mann's contract.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Also, D'Angelo Russell left the Nets too. He's
Yeah.
gonna be on the Mavs, so that'll be interesting. They're to be honest, for a team that's gonna start tanking, like they're in the average position. I think I would give them a C.
I
C?
just because of the
I would give
draft.
it a D.
I like the offseason outside of the draft. I saw
But it's not that good. Like I guess
for a team about the tank, it's pretty all right.
okay,
they missed,
fine. It's average,
but
I guess.
to be fair, they did miss really well. We'll see. Actually, it's too early to tell if they missed. Their picks could end up being really good. But
Is it
we'll see.
even if like 3 out of the 5 are really good, you still drafted 4 point guards.
Yeah.
But I mean, they need a point guard. They need a point guard.
One has to.
I don't know. Who's the coach right now for the Nets?
I have no clue.
I don't think I know how to say his name.
Good luck for him managing this team right now.
I may be
It's
mixing
gonna
it
be
up with the Raptors coach.
Yeah.
It's Steve Nash.
Yeah, Steve Nash, bro. Good side. Okay, we could. I honestly, we could go C. I'd put him at the bottom of C tier.
C or D.
Fine, we'll put him at the top of a D tier for now.
We'll see.
Yeah.
All right, the Charlotte Hornets.
F.
Yeah. Let me see what I put down.
I mean, they fleeced the Suns for Colin Sexton, so at least that's worth something. They
Here's the
literally
thing.
traded Nurkic for Sexton and a second round pick. I think they
That
got a
was
pick
crazy.
and the better player. What
Yeah.
are the Jazz doing? I hate the Jazz so much.
Yeah, Danny.
Somebody
Ainge-
needs to go take Danny Ainge behind a shed,
Even with them,
put him down.
that trade was obviously good for the Hornets, but like Sexton next
it
to
good for the
LaMelo
Hornets, though?
Ball. Well, if we're choosing a winner of that trade,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
Sexton next to LaMelo Ball though.
The fact that
Yeah,
Tosh still on the
I'm
roster.
saying I
gonna
think
do
I'm
D.
saying F. I'm saying F. Who'd they draft?
I think
Colin
I think they
Kniffel. They
can
took
get-
Kniffel. I like him a lot.
they got
you're
Colin
right.
Kniffel.
Okay, D.
And yeah, plus I feel like we can give them a little bit of credit for like still winning the trade. Like that's a good move, regardless of their position. I think.
It's a
Also,
winning trade, but it leads to nothing.
They also just
Well,
signed
we'll
Spencer
see.
Dinwiddie.
That's
They
true.
what?
Spencer
So they
Dinwiddie.
signed Spencer Dinwiddie.
Here's the deal.
I don't like that either.
We hate on this, but I actually could realistically see this team sneaking into the playoffs as an 8 or 7 seed,
No.
which
I
would
see
make
them winning 15 games.
Same.
I could see Kevin Durant
15 to
tearing
like
his
30
ACL,
games.
Yeah,
but I'm
that's
not
the
saying that out
ceiling.
loud. Oh my gosh. I could see Kevin Durant tearing his Achilles in the first 5 games of the year, Tristan,
Okay,
but
all right.
I'm not going to say that part out loud either.
Okay,
No.
you did. All
I did.
right.
That's right. You're cursing the Hornets, and I'm a curser. No. All right. I don't know. I actually think this team could sneak in as like an 8 seed or something, but we'll have to go back through once we do power rankings later, and that may change.
Yeah.
This is the new Bulls. Yeah. Now, hey, the Bulls this year though.
No.
The Bulls still haven't re-signed Josh Giddey, right?
Yeah, I know the Bulls are going to be in purgatory still.
What have they even done?
Yeah, speaking of the Bulls, where do we want to put the Chicago Bulls?
The Bulls.
What
They got Isaac Okoro. They traded
Lonzo for
Isaac Okoro.
Oh,
wait,
yeah,
who did they trade for him again?
Lonzo
Ball.
Oh, that was so dumb. They did another one of those player swaps.
Yeah,
Put him in
And
F.
They traded.
Yeah, this honestly
like
was
13
dumb.
players and got 0 picks.
Yeah,
I know.
This was honestly dumb.
They got rid of Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, and Lonzo Ball, and got their own pick back, and that was it
Mm-hmm.
in terms of picks.
And the fact that they made the play-in meant they didn't even get like a very high odds at a good lottery pick. So like they are literally so dumb.
That is so dumb.
Yeah,
the
I
Bulls
agree.
Waited 3 years to trade everybody, and then they got what was the first seeded Bulls? What was the first seeded Bulls before everybody got hurt? They got their own pick back.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, what a disaster!
Fire Billy Donovan, fire the GM.
I don't know if you can fire Billy Donovan. He hasn't had anything to work with.
I hate Billy Donovan.
All right. We're not going to let personal bias get in the way here.
That's the entire point of the podcast.
That's true. That's true. Right.
Me over here with my Lakers shit.
Yeah,
I know. The DeAndre Ayton is the GOAT underneath him here. The Cavs. What do we think of the Cavs so far? They got Lonzo. I'm honestly like, they really?
I mean, they fleeced the Bulls. It's like taking candy from a baby. It's like
taking candy
beating a kid with Down syndrome in a fight, but they did it.
They got Lonzo and they got Larry Nance.
It might not be the flashiest move, but hey, it gets the job done.
I mean, honestly though, I would give them a B just for that.
I would give them a B.
They improved their. I mean, it's not like they could do that much. They're not blowing it up. That's cool. But they improved their defense, their point of attack defense by a lot. So
they needed to run it back, which is a better bench, and that's what they're doing.
And Lonzo is a good defender too, so it'll help. Like he's capable of playing off of Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland, which I like a lot.
For sure.
And he can play make a little too, which actually helps. But yeah, we'll give him B for belt to ass because that's what they did to the Bulls.
That's true.
Anyway, yeah, I think that's really all they've done though, right? They haven't done anything else.
They haven't done much, but they don't really need to.
Yeah. We haven't really covered any of these guys' draft picks just because they didn't have high ones. I really didn't focus on anybody outside of the top 5 of the draft, if I'm being honest. But
yeah, I mean, realistically, they're not going to have an impact if they're not
this year, at least.
Super high.
The Mavs.
I could give them an A tier.
Honestly, though, yeah.
If we're counting draft picks, I would give them an S just because Cooper Flag is going to be
an S. Okay, I can't do that.
I mean, you got the number 1 pick, and you took a player that's a generational talent and would probably have gone number 1 in the last 5 years, other than the.
Yeah, but the number 1 pick wasn't there. It fell into their lap. They didn't do it.
That's true. Also, I hate Nico Harrison, so we can honestly put them in B.
Same.
Honestly, great. You got D'Angelo Russell, which is great to help your guards.
That's gonna be good. Yeah.
Yeah, but I hate Nico Harrison so much, so maybe.
They lost Spencer Dinwiddie. They re-signed Daniel Gafford.
They re-signed D'Lo, or they got D'Lo though.
Yeah, D'Lo. That's a good move. I'm excited about that for them.
I feel like D'Lo.
Now Mavs fans are getting too cocky and they're being annoying. So
yeah, they are.
I think we can put them in B.
Yeah. Because they're also banking on Anthony Davis playing a healthy season. And guys, Kyrie's not even going to be back this year from injury.
I know. That's what I'm trying to say. But
they're not going to be any good. Oh,
Tristan's gone again.
Oh, my gosh. Well, his loss.
Quick, put the Rockets in F tier. Quick.
Actually, I'll do that real quick. Let's
see if he notices.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, we'll give him a second. Oh, there he is. He's back.
All right.
Yeah. Okay, we're back.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening with my internet.
That's okay. We'll move on to the Pistons. So the Malik Beasley scandal.
Yeah.
What are we thinking of the Pistons? Because they got Duncan Robinson and they got who else did they get? Karis LeVert, right?
Did the Karis LeVert go to the Pistons? I don't remember where he signed.
I think I saw that he signed with the Pistons. Because they were trying to bolster their scoring because they won't have. Yeah, he's joining Karis. Yeah, as former. They're both from Michigan. I didn't know that. So they're getting all these Michigan players to play in Detroit. That's funny. Dang, Tristan, are you there, Tristan?
Are we on to the Pistons?
Yeah.
Okay. The Pistons. Where did I put Detroit? I give Detroit a C or a B.
Yeah. What do you think, Maddoc?
Yeah, I could give them a C. They are losing Tim Hardaway Jr., but they're gaining Duncan Robinson. kind of just seems they're losing Dennis Schroeder, but they're gaining Karis LeVert. It kind of seems like they're just kind of staying put. So I'll put that at. Honestly, it could go D.
They're gonna lose.
They're not improving.
It really just depends if Malik Beasley is able to come back because he was technically second in the NBA and made 3-pointers. He should have been first if Ant was shot chucking. Yeah, so that makes the offseason hurt. But do we judge them for that because it's not on them that Beasley?
Yeah, I mean,
it's not their fault, but still.
Yeah, I mean, even if he's not there, they got worse, and if he is there, I feel like they stayed the same. So
that's fair. They have you seen the video of Beasley with 1 second left sprinting down the court and scoring
and dunking it?
Yeah, getting the spread down. Yeah, he's cooked.
Yeah, he might be. Yeah, that'd be crazy, man. I can't believe a guy like him too, like such a good 3-point shooter, and like you're having a good career, would all of a sudden, if that's the case, get into that. Like, come on, man. Come on, man. You should know better than that. But yeah, I guess G then for now. The Warriors.
F.
They haven't done a single thing.
They lost Kevon Looney.
They said,
back.
Why are they locking an F? When did that happen?
Oh, what?
When you glitched out, we're like,
yeah, we threw it down there real quick. That's kind of funny that it took you that long though. That was like 5 minutes.
Anyway, the Warriors, they're probably gonna get Al Horford, but even then, like, bro, yeah, and they're getting Al Horford. Woo.
Al Horford's gonna be like 39 too, right?
Yeah,
he is 39.
Old man Al Horford is not gonna shore up that. They're so old. That team is gonna be so bad once Steph and Draymond retire and Butler.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh, like they won't get any assets for those guys.
Jimmy's not gonna finish here as a Warrior.
I don't know, man. He said he wants to play out the rest of his career there, though.
He said that in Miami too.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, so I don't know, man. But I definitely agree. They're an F. They're below the Bulls, which is crazy because the Bulls got BTA'd by the Cavs in that trade.
Yeah.
The Warriors just said, take Kevon Looney.
Yeah, just take our 10-year veteran.
All right. Now we'll get realistic. The Rockets, obviously, I think a solid bottom of C tier is perfect for this team. You know, Kevin Durant, he's like 38, 37, 38 now. And, you know, the rest, like getting Dorian Finney-Smith, very inconsistent. Şengün is not shown that he's capable of playing the center position at a high level. As we saw, DeAndre Ayton is probably better than him. And, you know, like there's just a lot left to be desired. Jalen Green was the go-to guy, and getting rid of him, like what is this team going to look like? They don't have an identity offensively.
I mean, if you think about it, they just traded a top 10 small forward in the league, plus Jalen Green and a pick for another top 10 small forward in the league. So, if anything, they got worse.
All right.
I follow that logic.
All right.
You can forget about game 2 Jalen Green, man. Like that guy's
Jalen Green.
A dog. Like, and you just said.
And then he dropped single digits for the rest of the series.
We'll take the guy who
played good defense.
Okay, yeah, put him in S tier. They're one of the best off seasons you could ever hope for. Like, they're ahead of the Hawks because you got a star.
We've done
the fact that you also got Dorian Finney-Smith is very, very good. Like, I think Dorian, he's gonna be better on the Rockets than he was on the Lakers because on the Lakers he was forced to be like the 5th starter. On the Rockets, he's gonna have to be like the 7th guy, and he's gonna thrive in that role.
He will,
I can already see the Amen Thompson drive to the post, kick out the Dorian Finney-Smith for the 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can also see Dorian Finney-Smith shooting like 22% from 3 in the first round of the playoffs. That might happen.
He was super inconsistent.
Yeah. But yeah, if he figures that out, I mean, it's still a great signing though because he matches their defensive culture really well too. So he'll be perfect. Plus, you know, Clint Capella. You have so much depth at center now. So like, if someone accidentally goes down with an injury or something like that, you know, you got
we're going to be the best rebounding team in basketball.
Steven Adams impacted that whole Warriors series.
Steven Adams and then Clint Capella are the 2 of the best rebounders in the past decade.
Plus the infrastructure of the Rockets is perfect for Kevin Durant. Like, they needed the go-to scorer. He is that. He needs a bunch of defenders and rebounders around him. He got that. Like, it's kind of unfair.
We have been building this trade for Kevin Durant for a year and a half.
Yeah.
And you only had to give up Jalen Green and Dylan Brooks.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's not
two of my
let's
favorite
not
players.
yeah.
But
Let's
still,
not forget that y'all still have Cam Whitmore too on the bench. Like if he takes another
I
step,
mean, he's probably going to be gone
he's gonna
soon.
get
yeah,
traded.
he'll outgrow. Well, this offseason though, are we sure?
Rumor is that the rumor is the Rockets have looked to trade him. Then there's another rumor that teams are calling the Rockets, but the Rockets aren't answering. So I don't know what's happening. But I don't think Cam Whitmore will
Either
be
way,
the
I mean,
Rockets in October.
it's not going to rock the world.
I think he'll be traded.
How tall is Cam Whitmore? He's a small forward.
6'7".
Right? Yeah,
He's
bro.
a shooting guard
Imagine
for
if
us, actually.
I would actually like totally have him stay and have Kevin Durant just mentor him so he can take the role of scorer when he leaves.
See, the thing with that is he doesn't play defense and he does not look to do anything but score when he has the ball, which is fine for a lot of teams, but Udoka hates that.
Sounds like Kevin Durant early in his career a little bit.
I can see.
Hey, all I'm saying, you develop that guy and you have that defensive infrastructure around.
Oh,
him.
I think Cam's gonna be great. Cam plays well. I say he plays bad defense. He plays poor effort defense. He has defensive tools though. I think we'll trade him. I think he'll be good wherever he goes, but I don't think it works here.
We get to watch Kevin Durant play meaningful basketball again. Let's go.
Yes, we do.
Real hoopers know that that's going to be one of the best things for the league.
Honestly, though, I love Kevin Durant so much. No lie, it's Lakers first as Rockets second. I love Kevin Durant so much. I want him to win a ring.
Yeah.
I know. LeBron needs another ring so that Steph can't be next to him. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
I just need that. But the Pacers now, who have had.
Yeah, it's not been good. I mean, it's not really their fault, but Halliburton's done.
But then
can you put them in F though? They're gonna be bad. They're gonna get a lottery pick, and they've
done this offseason is lose Miles Turner.
That is true. I mean, they lost Miles Turner, and then they got outbid by the Lakers for DeAndre Ayton. So
yeah, Thomas Bryant starting at center is gonna be crazy.
The Pacers could have re-signed Miles Turner. Like they did not go into the tax because of the Halliburton injury, which I get. But also, you're hindering your team after next season.
Yeah, unless they're just cool with tanking, I guess. But to be fair, like we'll get to see a bigger offensive role for guys like Nembhard, Toppin, and Mathurin. So that'll be really good.
I'm ready. I'm ready for an Andrew Nembhard 20 points per game season.
I'm ready for 20 points per game season.
Or Bennett. Yeah. Tristan will be wearing that jersey during the games, man.
One of those guys is going to get over 20.
Yeah, and with Siakam. So
Yeah.
that'll be great.
Yeah.
He'll help them a lot. I could see him chugging along and getting into the play-in or maybe a 6 seed.
I could see them in the play-in team.
Because Rick Carlisle is such a good coach and their offense is just so hard to guard. But TJ McConnell, I mean, if he doesn't get hurt, could probably lead that offense decently. He's not Tyrese Halliburton 3-point shooting and shot creation wise, but he'll create the offense.
My guess is they're gonna run offense through Nembhard and they'll start Benedict Mathurin.
That's true. Yeah, I would probably do that too, which is great, man. Because now it gives you another ball handler when Halliburton comes back, who's adjusted. Like they'll be all right. I would say
they should have won the title. They should have won the title.
They really should have.
They probably were going to.
Halliburton was going to
start
like
that
10
game.
Freaking threes in that.
Yeah,
game.
he hit 3 threes.
Bro.
But
for the sole purpose of just losing Miles Turner and nothing else, I feel like we put him in D or maybe F. Honestly,
I put him in F. I mean.
At least
it's not really their fault, but like
we'll put them ahead of the Bulls. Actually, no, we can't put them ahead of the Bulls. The Bulls just made a trade, but the Pacers and Warriors are both just lost people. All right, the Clippers. They got Brook Lopez. Yeah,
they extended James Harden.
I could put them in C. I guess it's fine. It does not move me.
I don't know how much I like the Brook Lopez move.
It was interesting to get. Yeah, it was interesting to get Brook Lopez when you've already got Zubac takes a lot of minutes anyway. I guess he'll be great to help Zubac not have to play so many heavy minutes. But they didn't really do anything. It'll be
he can teach Zubac how to shoot.
Yeah, there you go. The Clippers are so funny, man. They just
chill.
I saw Kawhi.
They're good every year, but they're never great.
Yeah.
Kawhi turned 34 today. He's been in the LA since he was 27. They really wasted this man's prime.
That's crazy.
Like, oh my God. I'm actually I remember when I started watching Click Productions and it was like 2K19 or 2K20 and Kawhi like the image on the main screen was Kawhi and PG signing with the Clippers. I was like, that was like 6 or
that
7
was like
years
6
ago.
or 7 years ago. That's crazy.
That's
Hey.
6 years. That's something crazy. Anyway, yeah.
Kawhi's only getting older.
No, for real though. His
All
game
the
though,
players are just getting older because like
his game though, Loki will
all people.
transition really well because he's got the tools to shoot.
He showed some signs of he can't affect the game in the same way really anymore though.
Yeah,
Like,
but there was that game
he
in the
kind of-
Nuggets series.
I mean, he had the one amazing game, and then the rest of the series, or at least after that point, so he was good for game 1 and 2, and he was amazing in game 2, and then the rest of the series, he was like, like a light 21 points that you don't really feel. It's not like dictating the flow of the game.
They needed a second star to step up, but James Harden could do that because James Harden does what James Harden does.
Hey,
I really want Chris Paul to go back to the Clippers.
Chris Paul needs to retire.
No, keep that man in the league forever.
I love Chris Paul.
Never let Chris Paul retire.
Oh my gosh, bro is wants that ring so bad. He got addicted. I'm glad he overcame his addiction. Bro, yeah. Anyway, for the Clippers, I don't know, man. Speaking of next team though, the Lakers.
All right, hear me out. All of the teams in C are just like meh. They didn't do really anything, or they just didn't get better. The Lakers definitely got better. We can all agree to that. The Lakers got better. So I say B.
Okay, I'll say B.
I don't know, man. I feel like Jackson Hayes is gonna like clash heads with DeAndre Ayton over starting minutes.
Oh my gosh. Over starting minutes.
also
Jackson Hayes is out of here.
They really do need a wing so bad though.
They need a lot of things.
LeBron cannot play all those minutes.
Do they though? I mean,
really do.
Honestly, we need a backup center and a wing.
Y'all need a wing really bad though. You're one LeBron injury away from having like just Hachimura, and that's kind of it.
Hey, I like Jake LaRavia. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
I think
Jordan
guys, Jake LaRavia is good. Okay, Jake LaRavia is actually good. 42% from 3. 42%. Yeah, really good. I think
42% from 3.
Tristan saying no so bad.
Kevin Durant.
Hey, I'm not saying he's good as Kevin Durant. I'm just saying he's like I think losing Dorian Finney-Smith and getting Jake LaRavia and Ayton, I think that is a plus. I think that's good.
Well, the tier list already ranked the Lakers offseason for us, so I think we're good.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, it's spoken.
Guys, F for phenomenal.
Oh yeah.
Let me create another.
I mean, we got the best free agent center, and we got a capable 3-point shooter wing, very high octane wing.
I would put them. I personally would put them in C, but I don't have an issue with them in B.
I think B because they clearly got better. I think that.
You get a decent player.
They can get the bottom of B.
I think it's like a C plus, B minus.
Sure.
I thought Rob Pelinka was a garbage GM though. I thought we couldn't wait to move on from him.
He is a garbage GM. This doesn't change that.
Getting DeAndre and doing the bare minimum.
If he wasn't a garbage GM, he would have already gotten a wing.
The only reason that this is a good rating is because DeAndre Ayton got bought out by the Blazers, which no one saw coming. The only good things that ever happened with Rob is things that fall into his lap. Dalton Connect in the draft, the Luka trade, the DeAndre Ayton getting bought out, Austin Reeves recruiting Jake LaRavia, tampering before free agency.
We love him.
Yeah, Bronny James.
Bronny James
just fell right into his lap.
Bro, the other teams, man, they 51 teams.
Every other team had the opportunity to draft LeBron James, and they said no.
All right, the Memphis Grizzlies.
See.
They extended Jaren Jackson, and that was it. I think I put them in D just because
they got
at least
4 first-round picks for Desmond Bain.
Okay, right. I forgot about that. I forgot about that. That was good.
In a high B or an A.
Yeah.
I could put him in. I put him in B.
Yeah.
Top of B.
I forgot about that. Yeah, they're clearly reloading a little bit, but
I like the Grizzlies.
Not to say that they fleeced them, but they got a huge haul.
I see why the Magic did, but the Grizzlies won that trade.
I don't know about that, to be honest. Like the picks the Grizzlies are getting aren't gonna. The only 2 of them are really legit first rounders. The one this year, back at the draft. One of them is I think it's a protected pick in like the top.
It's a protected Suns pick.
Yeah, so that one could also end up being not a good pick either. So really, it's just 2 first rounders, and the Magic have to actually be bad for those to be
That
good picks.
requires you to trust the Magic, and I don't think anyone has ever trusted the Magic.
Yeah, but the Magic are in the East, so they could be
James
bad and
trusts
still.
the Magic.
James trusts, yeah.
I do, man.
And he
We
also
saw.
trusts the Hornets.
No, we saw. what
Yeah, the
Magic
Magic
did.
and the Hornets.
We see the Magic's identity. They've been the best defensive team in the NBA. They were one of the best teams in the NBA defensive rating wise this year. They were top 3, I think. And now they just added Desmond Bain, who's going to fit in seamlessly. Like when we get to them,
Well, we're not on the Magic right now. We're not on the Magic. We're on the Grizzlies.
Grizzlies are top of B though. I
agree.
Yeah. The Heat.
Heat or F. They also Pat Riley's so washed. He never does anything. It's made even worse by every single person that ever becomes available. It's like the Heat are in the mix for them, and then they never get them.
When Dame got released, the first report is the Heat are in the mix.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, Dame should have signed with the Heat.
It's like the Packers. Every time there's a trade target in the NFL, the Packers are in the mix, but they never get them.
Or they should have. James should have been traded to the Heat. My bad. He didn't get released that year. But yeah, I
didn't even put a rating for the Heat. So yeah, F.
Yeah, we're putting him in F. There's really
honestly,
not much to say.
They should be below the Warriors though, because the Warriors are probably going to get Horford. Like the Heat are going to get nobody.
Yeah,
the Heat will re-sign Tyler Johnson and Josh Richardson.
They got that one guy from the Pistons that they're going to release.
Yeah,
yeah.
Good for them.
I don't know.
All right, the Bucks. This is a mixed bag. Because releasing Dame, I guess, kind of makes sense. But they did get Miles Turner.
I put it in C.
They made Giannis upset by releasing Dame to get Miles Turner.
No, that's not true.
Could work out really well with Giannis, I feel like.
Dame is ecstatic about getting released. I love reports after that.
Also, they've signed Gary Harris, which means they now have I think I saw a tweet where they now have 100% of all the Garys in the NBA or something.
They re-signed Gary Trent Jr. to 1 year, $7.5 million or something like that.
Something like that.
Bro, how did he go for that little?
Yeah,
what the heck?
Not a bad contract at all.
No, yeah, I think
I can put him in C because they got an all-star level talent in Miles Turner, but
they're high C, low B.
I'd put
are they? No, I don't even think high C. I'd put them low C, under the Clippers.
I think that, but getting Turner moves the needle for me more than getting Anthony Simons. And
they got better by a tiny bit.
Exactly. The Celtics
didn't. Is still their head coach.
True.
Which means
actually, that's crazy. How is he still? He's achieved nothing with them besides 2 disappointing first-round exits.
This man is coasting off of 2008, almost 20 years later.
That is pretty crazy. That's really 17 years ago now. That's insane.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah, I'll put him.
Put him under the Clippers.
I can't.
Okay. Miles Turner is better than Brook Lopez.
Yeah, that's exactly that's what I'm saying. Yeah, the Timberwolves.
I would keep them at high C.
The Timberwolves.
The Timberwolves have also done nothing. Or they re-signed Julius Randle.
They re-signed Randle and Naz Reid.
But they also lost Nickeil Alexander-Walker.
Lost Nickeil Alexander-Walker.
I would put them in D just because they did keep 2 of their best players, but they also lost their switch gadget guy.
We'll put them at the Nets. Actually, I'll put the Hornets ahead of the Nets too, to be aged.
You love the Hornets, don't you?
No, just moving up 1 spot. You guys are crazy.
You know what? Let's move the Hornets up 2 rows.
Let's move the Hornets ahead of the Rockets.
Oh my gosh.
Low key.
You really want me to? No, that'd be crazy. And Tristan saying Loki, it's the Rockets too. All right. The Nuggets. I really like the Nuggets offseason.
That's S tier probably.
I would have said S or A tier.
Yeah, I put
it under the Hawks, but
we have 3 S tiers and no A tiers.
I know.
Yeah, what they've done to allow them to still contend with Jokic in his prime this year was great. Getting Tim Hardaway Jr., getting Cam Johnson's going to fit so well on that team.
Yeah, he is.
It's so annoying. I hate it, but it's so good. What the heck?
They got Bruce Brown back.
They got Bruce Brown back. Tim Hardaway Jr.
Valanciunas.
Bruce Brown's going to be way more consistent than Russell Westbrook.
Valanciunas? I hate it.
Yeah, it's a really good offseason.
Yeah.
It's as good as you could hope for.
Yeah.
If Jokic had this roster going into the Thunder series, I think they win that series.
Maybe.
Because, they were just an Aaron Gordon injury away.
They were 1 game away from winning.
Yeah, the Aaron Gordon injury is really what did him in, to be honest.
Is Cam going to play small forward for them?
I guess so.
Probably.
He'll fit that.
He's just
He
going to
can
take
play
the Michael Porter Jr. spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll be perfect there.
Yeah, he's going to get so many good looks, and
Cam
it's
next
going to be
Jokic is
disgusting.
going to be so good. The Nuggets are going to be
I
fun
know.
next year.
Yeah, because
They're
we
going to be
saw
really good.
his potential in the Suns, and he's actually like a willing defender, and his shot fits better too. Like he's a better shooter than Michael Porter Jr.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just nothing really else to say. It's a
absolutely.
great job. Salute, Denver. Great
They
job.
went from being at the depth of they fired their GM and head coach in 2 days to taking the NBA champions to 7 games and having a great offseason. So
Yeah, and they did re-sign or they hired David Allen. And he's a good coach. So
he is a good
that's tier 1.
And worst case scenario, Jokic can pull LeBron and coach the team himself.
Yeah, true.
All right, the Pelicans.
D. They
yeah,
had that stupid trade with the Hawks. They got Jordan Poole, so that was good for them. I guess.
He'll be
good for them?
Now they have Jordan Poole and DeJounte Murray, who both need the ball in their hands. I don't like it at all.
I hate it.
Bottom of D, to be honest.
I may say F.
I don't know if we can call it F, because at least they're shaking the snow globe. They're doing stuff.
I mean, they are, but is it good?
It might not be good, but they're trying.
Yeah, I don't. But that's where you have to ask yourself: is Jordan Poole a better distributor than CJ McCollum? Because McCollum just never struck me as a good playmaker.
Yes, he is.
McCollum,
I feel like Poole.
I mean, yeah, Jordan Poole is a better distributor than McCollum is. McCollum was a shooting guard forced to play point guard.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think they're better with Jordan Poole, even if he's a better distributor.
Yeah, he's younger.
You
can flip him.
In theory, he is.
If it doesn't work.
In theory, he's a better distributor, but is he going to actually distribute, or is he just going to shoot a bat 3?
He and Zion together is such a weird combination.
The fact that they haven't traded Herb Jones is wild.
I don't think that you can put them in F because all of the F teams are teams that haven't done anything and are worse because of it because people walk away and they haven't made any additions. I feel like D tier is moves that are bad probably, but at least they're moves.
They also traded their first round pick next year unprotected.
That was dumb. Yeah, that's why they're in D.
I mean, I don't know. I don't like.
I can put them at the bottom of D.
Yeah, okay. I'll settle for that.
Yeah, that's fair. The Knicks.
Mike Brown, head coach.
I would put them in A. I'd put them ahead of all of the B teams.
I was thinking B actually. Who have they added? They
got Jordan Clarkson and Gershon Yabusele.
Yeah, and hired Mike Brown. I mean, I think that's a B. I would say B.
Yeah,
we need somebody in A
though. We do need some. See, I'm saying Mavericks in A. That's Mavericks in A is my take.
Oh, gross.
Resign Kyrie, resign Gafford, added
we hate the Mavericks.
D'Lo and Cooper Flag. We do hate the Mavericks, but I feel like they had an A off season.
So are we putting the Knicks
I'm fine. Okay.
A?
No, I'm fine. I'm fine with putting the Knicks in B and moving the Mavericks to A.
Where are the Knicks top of B?
I know. Yeah. Yeah, probably.
They're around there.
Because their issue was lack of depth, and they added 2 really good bench players.
And got a good head coach. I'm a big Mike Brown guy.
Crazy thing is Yabusele was not even in the NBA a year and a half ago. He dunked
I know,
on
he
LeBron,
had that dunk over LeBron, yeah.
And then the Sixers were like, oh, we'll give him a chance. And I remember that first week of the season watching him and being like, oh, this is not going to work out. But nope, he pulled it together. Good for him. Yeah. The Thunder. I mean, I feel like they've
had a pretty good offseason.
Did they do anything?
They re-signed Shea,
and they got a great contract for Jalen Williams. The second Jalen Williams, not the better one.
Sure.
Yeah, any move that allows you to retain depth on that team especially is great because the more continuity and more these guys get to play together, the better.
I mean, I guess we can put them in B, not top of B. I put them in the bottom of B because they didn't add anybody.
No, not top of B, yeah.
I put them ahead of the Lakers.
No, they've just had a good offseason by keeping their guys.
Put them behind the Lakers.
The Lakers at least got better.
Maddoc's like, the Lakers will beat the Thunder in some capacity.
I mean,
I still think
we were better. We beat them last year, so I mean,
That last game of the year, you guys didn't. Those not the last time y'all played them.
When Luca got ejected for doing nothing.
Exactly. Yeah.
There was a
That's why.
rig to like every other game the Thunder play in.
Oh, here we
Rockets
go. The
in
Magic.
5.
I
Hear me
could
out.
The Magic.
This is an A at least.
at least.
Yes.
They still gave up 4 first-round picks.
Bro,
Did they
who cares?
do
wrote down
anything
this
besides
week.
get Desmond Bain?
Yes. Did they sign a? Oh my goodness.
They didn't re-sign Gary Harris, which is a plus.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
One sec.
One sec.
Didn't they sign another point guard?
I do
Yeah,
not
they-
remember.
oh,
They lost Cole Anthony.
They extended Jalen Suggs and they extended Wendell Carter Jr.
Yeah, that does not move me. That I would put it in C.
Yeah, but
They
do you
lost
really
Cole
have?
Anthony. I'd put it in C.
No, but they didn't need Cole Anthony. He wasn't that good anyway.
Cole Anthony is
They
a dog.
probably needed 4 first-round picks. They're going
No,
all
they
in
will-
on
they will
Paolo
need
and
4.
Franz, and I don't know if I believe in that.
That's what they should. I honestly that's what you do with the two guys like that though. You just continue to let them develop and you keep pieces around them. And Desmond Bain's gonna fit that team so well, y'all.
I mean,
have no idea.
he fits really well.
Like I'm saying, barring injuries, like this is a top 3 team in the East.
No, because it's the Knicks
There's a lot of
and the
top 3 teams in the East.
Hawks. Yeah,
But the
they're
Hawks have to be healthy. The Knicks are gonna have to adjust to a new head coach, and I honestly
The
don't
Cavs
like Mike
or the
Brown.
Magic have to get healthy.
Knicks. Like I don't know, man. And the Cavs. will be up there.
I still like the Hawks way better than them. I like the Knicks way better than them, and I like the Cavs way better than them.
Yeah. I like the
yeah,
Pistons
but
more than them.
for the purpose of
I
getting
don't like the
Bane,
Pistons more than them.
I'd put
Just
this
based
team at
on
least.
the Pistons' offseason's been worse, but I don't know.
I feel
I
like
don't know, but
despite giving up more for Bane than you guys
you have to
like,
give
I
up
think
so much.
did
The
they though?
Grizzlies definitely won that trade.
It was basically 2 first-round picks because the other 2 aren't going to be useful anyway.
You don't know
know.
that though.
But I feel like that's going to be the case. So you don't.
It's
Yeah, we're not-
still 4 first-round picks.
Yeah.
Grizzlies' third best player.
Gosh. For third best, whatever. That's fine. We can put him below the Grizzlies.
You gonna
but
say
I don't
Desmond
know.
Bane's better than Jackson Jr. or
He made more of an impact.
did he
That's
though?
okay. Yeah, I mean, Jaren Jackson looked like a fish out of water in that series against the Thunder.
That is true. That is very true.
Yeah,
But
pretty ugly. At least
Man.
Bane, you know what you're getting. He's a reliable catch and shoot guy who can play some defense, and he does that consistently. Whereas, Jaren
his
Jackson,
arms are also like 3 inches long.
but you don't need him to block shots. What does it really matter?
Alternatively, he looks like a T-Rex. So
He does look
you
like
couldn't
a
have won the
T-Rex.
Maddox
Is that a
like
good or
minus
a bad
1,000
thing?
more for looking like a T-Rex.
trade.
Bro, I was playing in a men's
It's
league
just-
game the other night, and a guy on the other team looked almost exactly like Desmond Bain. It was actually really funny.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was like, whoa. Like I even said that to him during the game. I was like, we got Desmond Bain trying to hold the. It was right before halftime, and they were up by like 13. And I was like, we got Desmond Bain out here trying to dribble out the clock before half, and he's like, and then he tried to shoot over me. He missed, but he's a pretty good shooter still. His play style was very similar.
Now, would you trade 4 first-round picks for that guy?
2 first-round picks, basically. Yeah,
4 first-round picks.
it's not that the pick this year.
You know,
who did the Grizzlies take this year with this pick?
They traded it for a borderline all-star who fits the system. I can put that in B. I'm fine with that.
Who did the Grizzlies take
We
this
can
year?
put it in B.
Yeah. They were
No
going to
one.
go
They
B.
had the Magic had their pick. Or no, wait.
No, they took Yang Hansen, and the Portland ended up with him, didn't they?
Yeah, Portland traded. Yeah, Portland traded for that pick.
Okay, yeah, so great. That wouldn't have been anything for them. They're all high on this
We don't
guy
know.
because they saw him playing before summer, and they were like, "Oh, he plays a lot like Jokic." They're like, "Oh, draft him." So that's then it's like
Who's-
and the Suns
Who's the
pick
Grizzly
like
head coach?
Taylor. Oh, it's not Taylor Jenkins. That's right. I don't know.
It's not Taylor Jenkins.
It was
Are
the
they hiring
interim that
him?
they got hired. Yeah.
Why did every team keep their intern? I guess
I
it's-
don't know, it was weird.
Oh yeah, Tuomas Lil Salo. Yeah, that's right. I remember this guy.
Oh yeah. Oh no, because the rumor was for both them and the Nuggets that they fired their coach to promote the assistant.
Interesting.
That makes sense.
Poor Taylor Jenkins.
Uh,
The Sixers.
Magic and B tier.
Yeah, I put them below the Grizzlies. I feel like that's fair.
See the Sixers. I have the Sixers in D tier, I think.
Yeah, have they made any moves?
They got
Oh,
who
they
did
took
draft? They got
BJ Edgecombe.
Yeah, VJ Edgecombe.
Yeah.
That was a good pick.
That's the guy from Baylor, right?
Yeah, the most athletic
Yeah,
dude,
yeah.
most
That
athletic
is a
guard.
good pick.
Honestly, you
Yeah.
can put
Maybe
them in
in
C
tier
because
just
they
for
got
that.
better
Yeah, just for that.
a little
They
bit.
did.
I was kind of confused that
If
they
they're
took
healthy,
Edgecombe, considering that they already have Maxey and they'll have McCain coming back too. Like, did they really need Edgecombe? But because McCain was
Edgecombe's a
kinda
good
grind.
defender, though.
That's
Edgecombe,
true.
how tall is Edgecombe? Can he play small forward?
Yeah, that's
Probably.
I think he's only like 6'4", I'm pretty sure.
I thought he was
That's
like
why
6'7".
DJ Edgecombe is. I don't think so. That's crazy. If he was 6'7", then I'm.
Also, guys, quick note. I was just checking Twitter. Apparently, the Rockets and the Suns are in trade talks to expand the KD to Houston trade into a 7-team deal.
To get Devin Booker.
As long as
Can you imagine?
we get KD and Booker.
Yeah.
That would be insane.
That would be insane. Edgecombe is 6'5".
As long as we don't lose
He is taller
anything.
than I thought he was.
Oh, you know what? That may be. We may add Cam to that trade.
And then what would you even get?
And
The
they'll
Suns.
pro- they'll
Okay, so apparently the teams
No, I know,
the
if
teams
it's a
involved
17 trade, we'll get something.
the teams involved are the Rockets, Suns, Lakers, Hawks, Nets, Warriors, and Timberwolves.
The Lakers are
That's
trying
like
to get
every team.
Malachi from the Suns pick from the draft.
Oh, dude, I would love that.
He's great. Speaking of the Suns, offseason wise,
Honestly, pretty good. Besides the Kevin Durant trade was really dumb. I mean, they
Yeah,
had to
The
trade him,
Rockets,
but was that the
they got
best
one first-round
package?
pick.
that was not.
And
I guarantee
Jalen Green, we're gonna see Jalen Green, Devin Booker, and Bradley Beal on the same team. That's absolutely
and
disgusting.
Grayson Allen too, man. A fourth shooting guard that really. And don't they have Eric Gordon too?
No,
I don't
Eric
know.
Gordon's
No,
gone.
Gordon went to the Sixers.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Oh yeah, so that helps the Sixers out too.
No, the Sixers. He
Doesn't though.
walked away from the Sixers this offseason.
Oh, there you go. Nice.
They didn't.
All
I
right.
thought the Sixers re-signed him.
But the Suns draft pick was good. I did like Malachi.
Yeah,
did like
and they
that
got
pick.
Mark Williams.
Yeah, that's
They
true.
did
So they
get
actually
Mark
have some,
Williams.
But they did
That
give
was
up
good.
2 first-round picks for him.
yeah, that's kind of crazy. The Lakers are like watching that, like, oh, good luck with his
C tier?
injury history. Yeah, I think I would put him in the bottom of C.
They lost the KD.
Agree.
They gave up too much for Williams, but they did.
But at least they got better than at least some of the other teams, like for what they had to do because they weren't going to have KD. KD didn't want to be there. Portland got Drew Holiday, and they took that guy Yank Hansen. So
The Drew Holiday trade is so dumb.
for them,
The Drew Holiday trade was awful.
I don't.
The
Yeah,
Blazers
Drew Holiday.
are either a D or F tier. I guess if we're running by the same role for the F tier, then they're the D tier.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're bottom of D tier.
Yeah, because at least they made changes, but
Yeah.
the changes.
Yeah.
Like realistically, Drew Holiday probably will work out for them better than Simons. He's more of a.
Chances are they'll trade Holiday somewhere else.
Yeah, they need to do that. If they can get something for Holiday, trading him to a contender or something, then that'll be worth it.
True.
The Kings didn't
F.
do anything, really, did they?
They suck. I hate the Kings.
The Kings,
Bro, they make me so mad. They had that one good year and then they ruined everything. Honestly,
Who
yeah,
did
we
the Kings
can.
add?
The Heat are ass. So
They got Dennis Schroeder, and that's it.
Hey, that's such a
that
Kings
doesn't
move
even make
to get.
sense for them. I mean,
Well, Malik Monk is
I don't even know.
back in the lottery from
The Kings are
2 years ago to now being absolutely buns.
Yeah.
That's frustrating, man. Because I didn't hate that team. But Sabonis, yeah, the Halliburton trade is going to go down as one of the worst trades ever for them. So
the Halliburton trade was a bad trade when it happened.
It was actually, though.
They should have traded Fox.
Bro, Halliburton and Sabonis would have been such an interesting duo. Oh wait, they wouldn't have had both. My bad.
I mean, if they did Fox for Sabonis.
Oh wait, yeah, I'm tripping. Yeah, you're right. They could have had him. because I'm thinking that they would have gotten Halliburton from the Pacers, but I was like, no, they traded him to the Pacers.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of trash. The Spurs.
The Spurs can go on
Um,
B because they got Dylan
Dylan
Harper
Harper.
and Luke Cornett.
They get Harper.
Did they sign Mamu Kelesvili too? Re-sign him?
Who?
I don't
Sandro
remember.
Mamu Kelesvili? Or did he sign somewhere else? I'm tripping.
They got
He's
Luke
at-
Cornett as their backup big.
Yeah. Mamu Kelesvili signed somewhere though. He signed because he was on the Spurs. Did he sign? Oh, never mind. He signed with the Raptors. That's all right. Yeah. Yeah, I would say B.
Yeah.
Yeah, Spurs
Yeah.
are either B or C.
I'd put him
Just
at
because of Harper, it's B.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Raptors, they got Mama Kelesvili. They didn't really do
What did they
anything.
do?
They didn't trade for Brandon Ingram.
They re-signed Jakob Poeltl to a 4-year deal.
They gave him
I
more
don't-
money
I
than
don't know.
Miles. They gave him the same amount of money Miles Turner is going to make.
I don't know what the heck. And they
The Raptors
fired
were having
Masai Ujiri after the
Raptors were having
draft.
a bad offseason.
That was kind of funny. They were like, make one more good pick for us, and then they
Yeah.
kicked it out.
I'm guessing. Can we say Raptors in the F?
Yeah, I'm down.
All right.
Because they didn't even make any meaningful moves. They didn't make any moves.
That's
They
true. If they
re-signed
Brandon Ingram, putting him in S, wouldn't we?
Hey, they didn't get Giannis, so I mean it's an F tier offseason.
That's right.
Just because they didn't get Giannis, put him in S.
Yeah,
They scared the league.
they're kind of bleak. Their young talent isn't as good as people say it is. Like
They're
Grady
really
Dick
not.
is really not
Who
that good
says
at
it's
defense.
good?
That's
Grady Dick is
fair.
not good. Brandon Ingram sucks. Scotty
That's not good.
Barnes is eh.
Brandon Ingram is good, and everyone else is garbage.
Yeah, Utah.
Brandon,
Oh my bad.
Utah.
They got Ace
F.
Bailey, so I feel like that puts them somewhere.
I was
They
thinking
got
B.
Ace Bailey, but they traded Colin
Sexton.
Sexton for
They did
and
trade
a second-round pick for Yusuf Nurkic.
Yeah.
Bro, what is Danny Ainge's obsession with having second round picks in these trade deals?
What is Danny Ainge's obsession with being an absolute ass?
Facts.
I
I don't
hate
know.
that guy.
He and Pat Riley are so washed, the old heads at GM.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah, but-
thinking
I put him
if we're
D.
doing Harper
Bottom
for
of D.
uh,
Because
I could put him in C because they got Ace Bailey.
Ace Bailey's a pretty good pickup.
Bailey could
They
have
also got
gone
Walter Clayton Jr.
Walter Clayton Jr. is a good pick. That's true.
Fun fact, I actually got to play against Ace Bailey at a camp 3 years ago.
Wait,
Did you win?
actually?
Yeah, he was a freshman and I was a sophomore that year, and he hit a 3 in my face.
Wild.
Hey, that was my little fun
Dang.
moment.
And you were
That's
like, you're
cool.
gonna be in Utah in 4
Yeah.
years.
Yeah, I know. I did not know that, bro. Because a year later, because the school he was at was in Tennessee, and then he ended up, I think they were, and then the year later he transferred to McEachern as going into his sophomore year, and a guy on our team in my junior year was like, "Bro, look at this. This is the guy from Bryan Camp," and he like, "Oh my gosh, his highlights were insane," and I was like, "Wow." And then I heard he was signing with Rutgers, and I was like, "Oh, cool." And then it was like, "Oh, he's a top 5 pick," and I was like, "I get to say I played
Dang.
against Ace
Yeah,
Bailey."
that's wild.
Did you give him work? Was he guarding you?
Probably on like 1 or 2 possessions. No, their team actually killed us because 1, I was pretty garbage as a sophomore, and 2, I was the tallest guy on the team, and they had him and 2 other guys who were like 6'5", so they beat us like 45-9 in that 10-minute half game.
Nah.
45 to 9?
Bro, our team that year was not good.
Oh,
going into
gosh.
that team that I had, because I was I just finished my freshman year, so I was skinny too. So that team I went into won 9 games out of like 25 the next year, and then my junior and senior year we got really good.
Were you playing center?
Yeah, I was playing center,
Dude,
man.
oh my
I
God.
just played JV,
I hated when you were
and I
playing
started varsity that next year. Like that was a tough transition.
I hated watching you play center, not because you were bad at playing center, just because it made no sense.
Yeah, for real. that final year worked out though. We went 5.
The final year was good. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but yeah, man. Oh my gosh, yeah. But I got to play against him. It was kind of cool though.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but I guess we're saying C tier then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of not winning very many games,
Where do we want to put
how
him?
did the C?
Like ahead of which any teams? Like ahead of the Suns?
Above
I don't.
above the Sixers. I'd say they
above
did more than
above the Sixers because they got a better pick.
Yeah.
James, did your coach, the team you coached, did you guys win any games?
No, we didn't win a single game.
Hey,
Oh
next
no.
year. There's always next year.
That's there. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't know if I'll have time to coach next year because the only reason I was able to do it because I was online, but I'll be on campus next spring. But bro,
Oh.
Drop out.
a single game, man. It was so funny too because I thought we were gonna play one more tournament, but got canceled actually the day after we finished the other tournament. So I literally was just like, "Good job, guys! Like we'll get them next week." And then it was just like, "Oh nope, the season's over."
Oh jeez.
No,
And
we're gonna.
Did Hales cook anymore? Like, did you have any other
Yeah,
cool
yeah.
moments?
No, yeah, he had some good games. I think he scored like 20 in 2 other games, so he had some good games. So,
Nice.
but bro, yeah, but it was cool because a couple of players got better, but then some of the other guys just didn't want to work at all, and I was like, bro, you will not be on the team next year as a freshman if you don't get better.
No, James,
Yeah.
call me up next summer. I got you, assistant coach.
Yes, sir. Oh my gosh,
I'll knock sense into the kids.
yes, that would actually be so funny, man.
We're-
I yell at them, and then they go to the bench, and you're like, it's okay, man, it's okay.
we'll reverse each day. Good cop, bad cop.
He's not really mad at you. That's what you're saying. So he just
Next
wants
day,
to
come
win.
in suicides.
you write him up on the board for him. You're like,
Yeah.
forever. And the kids are just staring, and you're like, I'm sorry, guys, I don't make the rules.
Every free throw you miss is a suicide. That was my team's role used to be.
That's pretty
Dang.
crazy. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, no, we sucked that year.
Y'all got a lot of conditioning in that year.
Yeah, we did. I was playing 48 minutes. That's not true. It wasn't 48 minutes.
48 minutes.
I was playing 30 minutes.
Can you imagine if they had
Dude.
4 12-minute quarters in a youth league?
A youth church league.
The parents are just like, we want our kids to run.
I played in like a church rec league this last year, and I only ever got to play like the most I ever got to play was like 3 quarters.
I've
was
played
annoying.
so much full games. My coaches love me because I'd be like, yeah, I'll go out there again. I don't need water.
That's so nice. My coaches they'd always start me, but then they would also have like a bench lineup that they would deploy for like an annoying amount of time. So I never got to play the entire game.
My teams, the way that my church league worked, it was meant to be 10 players, obviously, so you could have 2 full bench and starting lineups. Almost every year, somebody would leave or quit or not be there for a game, so it'd be 8 or 9 guys. So I'd be the guy staying in the whole game
Nice.
because I could guard all 5. So
Exactly. Versatility, man.
Yeah, I can't shoot, but I can guard.
There were a lot of games this last
I was the
year.
opposite.
There were a lot of games that final year where my coach had to play me all 32 minutes because center, and the guys behind me were not very capable.
I watched one of your games, and I think I texted you after. I was like, "Did you ever get a break?" And you were like, "No."
No, man. Bro, I also wasn't the best shape of everybody. When we had to do the 10 and 10s, I would make them all. So
Yeah,
that was nice. Bro, 10 and 10 suck though. I can't, bro. My legs, last year I went to a practice to see what they were doing, and they did like a 6 and 6, and I was like, oh, I'll do it with y'all just for fun. After the 6 and 6, I made it, but I was like, oh my gosh, this sucks. I don't miss this at all. Like, oh my gosh, because bro, that 30 seconds in between when you get to rest is probably like the worst thing. Because oh my gosh, your legs just get sore and sore, and then you have to run the suicide in under 30 seconds. Gosh, yeah. I did play in a men's league game the other night though. That was fun. I got to play it in a men's league game with this team, and we won by 1 point because I stole the ball from a dude with a minute left and got a almost dunk at the other end. But that gave us the lead, and then we like clock managed the end of the game, and they got the ball with like 8 seconds left. The dude got it, and I left the dude I was guarding and blocked him at the buzzer.
Oh, nice.
But I had 22. Ford had 0. Ford literally.
Ford had 0 points.
Ford had 0 points.
He went like 0 for 9 or something. It was pretty crazy.
Is Ford washed now?
Nah, he ain't washed. It was just like he couldn't lock in.
Are we
but
sure?
to be fair, like no, I know, man. We'll have to see when Maddoc visits. We'll see. It's the question of the day on the podcast is Ford
washed? Is this
Low-key, last time I was there, I outplayed Ford. Let's be honest.
Bro, he didn't care though, man. Like if he cared, Ford would just use his strength and get to the hoop every time.
True, he would just get
to
the cup.
Ford in a random game against the worst team CCS played and just knocking down every 3.
No, for real though. The Johnson's Ferry games where
yes.
tournament first round, and he hit like 7 threes against Johnson's Ferry. Scored
He's
31.
turning around
That
before
was
the ball goes in.
yes, bro.
Nice.
Talking
He
to the crowd.
he was insane. He was so crazy that
Junior
year
year
we went to
Ford.
state. Junior Ford averaged 20 points per game on 40% from three and 50% from the
20
floor.
points per game is crazy.
No,
No,
junior
yeah,
Ford
he
was
was.
different.
What was crazy is he did that because with me on the team, I literally averaged 19.9 points, and he averaged 20. Like we had that.
The whole
Nice.
offense for both of you. Yeah, that was the offense.
That was though really. But to be fair, the role players weren't bad at all. Like Jalen averaged
No.
like 12, and then Chase and Matt averaged like
Chase was
10
surprisingly
combined.
good.
Chase had a couple of big games where he hit a bunch of threes. Like
Chase
they were
was
just
hitting
perfect
logo
role.
shots in one of those games.
This last senior year, bro, against Lanier when they got blown out in that playoff game, though, he hit like
Mhm.
7 threes in that game, and
It's
Lanier
wild.
What did Ford average in senior year?
I think he averaged like 25, but he missed a bunch
Dang.
of games. Yeah, Ford was.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because he got a quad contusion that took him out for like 5 or 6 games at the end of the year.
Sean was telling me
Dang.
about that.
Yeah, that was crazy. I've never seen an injury like that where it was just like, oh wow, that knee to the thigh did way more damage than I thought that would do. But
Yeah.
hey, at least it didn't happen the year we were a contender, man, because the team was not good. That was crazy. That team should have been way better than they were. But
I thought they were gonna be good.
yeah, untapped potential, man. They had all those seniors, like 7,
Yeah.
8 seniors, and it was just like, oh, I guess we're not gonna do anything.
Same thing for the Boston football team, except the football team went to state. So
That's true. The football team should have they lost to Lanier in state, right?
we can't beat Lanier.
Facts though, we lost to Lanier in state.
We just can't beat Lanier. I like how we stopped right before the final team to talk about basketball and football.
I know that's what I was
Yeah.
saying.
No one cares about the Wizards.
Back in
Put the Wizards in. What did they even do?
They got
CJ
CJ McCollum for Jordan.
They got
Poole.
off the Jordan Poole contract.
That's dumb. Put him in F.
CJ McCollum, Chris Middleton, about to go crazy.
They have to at least be in D tier.
Yeah, I feel
Fine.
like bottom,
Marcus
I don't know.
Smart,
Bottom of D.
CJ McCollum, and Chris
Hey, here's the
Middleton.
deal,
Dude, when I went to the Wizards game this last year, Marcus Smart was cooking.
Dude.
and Bub Carrington too, right?
Yeah, he went off for like 34.
The Wizards could be a top 3 team in the East.
Chris Middleton and CJ McCollum betting, and Marcus Smart betting. I hate English, man. English sucks. They're gonna do the veteran special and get this team dragging into the playoffs somehow. Jared Dudley style.
Wizards and 5. Jared Dudley. Oh my God.
Yeah, that kind of mentor, the kind that can play a little bit and do this after hitting a 3.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. When
That's
he
my
hit that
favorite
3,
photo ever.
just looked at Ben Simmons like this, and then he said, "Ben Simmons, I'm not impressed with his game," and then Ben Simmons ended up being washed 2 years later. That was so funny.
That Nets Sixers series was so random.
It really was. The Nets had no business being there, but they just
The Nets
they literally
D'Lo just drove them into the playoffs, and then they had a
all-star D'Lo.
All-star
Nets D'Lo.
And Jarrett Allen as a young player with Joe Harris. Like that was that, and Spencer
That was a
Dinwiddie.
fun
They had
game.
that. Someone said that team literally rode straight vibes and chemistry to the 6th seed that year.
They
They
just
did.
blew it up for
And then
KD and
they
Kyrie.
Gave up all of that young core just to get KD and Kyrie. That hurts me so
Which,
much.
to be fair, barring injuries, that Nets team wins the championship the Bucks year.
Yeah. They just sometimes when I look back at the trades, I think maybe they gave up like one too many players in those trades potentially.
They should have kept Jarrett Allen.
Yeah, they could have kept Jarrett
Honestly,
Allen.
they
Man.
probably wouldn't have been able to, but still.
Yeah, that would have been crazy because especially with Nick Claxton behind him, that would have been insane.
True.
Yeah. Anyway, Wizards. Yeah, there you have it, folks. Yeah. We got the offseason. Hey, we still got 4 days left. It looks like 3 days, I guess.
Where is Dame going to go?
Facts though, but who cares, man? He won't play, I guess. But
I don't know if he signs this year.
who do we think?
Wait, who?
If he does come back during the All-Star break.
That's true. I
Okay.
did actually see that. He could come back. That would be insane. He gets the Aaron Rodgers surgery and comes back really fast.
If he comes back early, then
Aaron Rodgers talking about like I could be back if we make a playoff run, and then the Jets are like, hell nah, just tank 10 to the
Yeah.
hear me out. Dame to the Clippers.
would be
Why?
crazy. With
Just
Harden, bro,
because.
that would be so fun to see Harden and Dame win a ring together.
They wouldn't ring it. Wouldn't ring. They wouldn't make it out of the first round.
I know. I
James-
know. No, they'd get to the second round. Dame would go crazy in some
in the
closeout
Western
game.
Conference, Dame goes crazy. Dame hasn't went crazy in
Can
6 years.
Dame's drive to get to the second round overcome a Harden Asterclass in Game 7?
True.
We'll have to see.
Hypothetical questions of the day: will Brandon Ingram and Giannis be a top 5 seed in the East? Will Damian Lillard and James Harden get out of the first round of the playoffs?
Is Ford washed?
Is Ford washed?
Ford wash.
That is kind of funny though. I'm not gonna lie. That we first
That
brought
is
that up.
so. How did he go? How did he not make a single shot? That's crazy.
I've never
No.
seen Ford play a game and he not make it.
Bro could not settle into that game. It was pretty crazy. I did not expect to be the one that hit more threes in that game, and yet I kind of went off though. It was actually a lot of fun.
Dude, when I get up there, we got to go play basketball every day.
No, we will for sure. And the funny thing is,
I'm going for a
they
game.
actually the day I think you come the 21st, the 22nd, they said they may need us again. So
Oh, really?
yeah, they were like, because they can't add anybody to the roster, but I was like, hey, that'd be kind of cool if we drive up and go bowling around Woodstock and then drive down there, play in the game real quick.
Yeah.
Bro, because Hales was like, oh my gosh, ask him if he can add me to the roster. And I was like, you have to be 16. But they actually added a kid that's 14 or 15 onto the team.
Oh, they're desperate.
And he had 11 points last night in that game too. He clutched
Dang.
up.
Dang.
I got him two open looks for 3, and then he managed to get into the paint because they had a 6'7" guy on their team. And 6'7". No. He managed to somehow get a floater up over the guy and get an and 1, and then he hit like another layup. So that was kind of cool. He went off. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I
haven't played
that game though.
I have not played a game of basketball since that game we played for your birthday like 2 years ago.
That's crazy.
Dude,
with Jokic.
I couldn't live if I didn't play.
I have a jacked up knee.
So
Hard to
Tristan,
play.
bro, going back to that our time on the football team, Tristan's knee has always been giving him issues. It's kind of crazy.
5'7" and play offensive line. Don't do that.
Bro.
State champion though. State champion.
State champion, man. We got that ring.
Yeah.
We can
Should have like
ring
3
on.
rings, but
You should though. Yeah, you should have.
should have like 3 rings.
I should have 2, man. If
You
Jackson
should-
Curtis
yeah.
could look where he was throwing the ball.
We named it. We doxed him.
I name dropped on the podcast. Yeah, imagine he's never gonna find this video.
No.
That's okay. But I don't know anybody that would know him that watches the podcast, so who cares?
No, me neither.
And then they're gonna watch all the way to the end of this video. We get to the end and we're like, and he's like, "What the?"
That was the worst I've ever seen.
Catching strays, bro.
I've never felt my heart break in time like that.
I was hoping I'd get a chance to kick that field goal so bad. Get a chance. To
What's the story? Did your QB just like sell or something?
So
no, actually, no.
James technically sold.
Oh,
that's crazy. Okay.
Okay, that's what you said. You said that day. I'm not lying.
I did. I felt bad.
You were beating yourself up. We got. Hey, it's all good. We won it the next year.
We did, but I'll give the rundown on this game real quick. We're in the state championship for football. All right, we score a touchdown to open up the game against Central Fellowship, and I missed the extra point, the opening extra point. It was a bad kick. Sucked. We had 2 4th downs in that game where he could have settled and had me take, because my long that year was a 41-yard field goal. We could have taken a 42-yard field goal and like a 33-yard field goal. He had 2 opportunities to do that on 4th down, and he decided to go for it on 4th down both times. It was 4th and 5 and 4th and 7. He decided to go for it both times. One of the times, the backup quarterback was in because the starter, his helmet got taken off, so he had to put the backup in, and he still chose to go for it instead of taking the point. So if we'd taken one of those field goals, I could have hit one of them at least probably, and that would have
definitely.
Long story short,
55 yarders that year.
That was oh my gosh. Anyway, the long story short, we were up 5 points, I think, with the ball, and with like 3.5 minutes left, trying to run out the clock. Our quarterback fumbled at our own 40-yard line, trying to run.
Oh my gosh,
bro! Why do you not have 2 hands on the ball? Like, just don't fumble the ball. We're good. And so they threw a touchdown pass up, and they didn't get the 2-point try. So now they're up 1 with like a minute and a half left, and quarterback rolls out instead of scrambling for the 10 yards that he probably could have had in front of him. He decides, I'm going to throw across my body across the field to my receiver. The receiver was a really good receiver. Like, he caught a lot of one-on-one balls.
Is this
the
Demo?
ball didn't even make it. Yeah, no, Travis.
Travis.
Yeah. but the ball didn't even make it, man. It was like the Jordan Love interception against the Niners.
Yeah.
Exactly
It was an
like
interception.
It was
bad.
basically exactly
It
that
was
play.
it was straight to him.
Yeah, threw the pick. So he fumbled and he threw a pick, and we lost the game by 1. I was
Yeah.
like,
Dang.
My
wanted to-
dad, my dad after that game came up to me and said, "I think y'all's back was better."
yeah, bro. And then Jerry,
Then Jerry won state
Jerry
champ.
started next year. We won state.
Jerry was a great quarterback.
Yeah, for real. And then y'all could have had the state the next year if Caleb, if hadn't gotten hurt.
We could have had state without Caleb getting hurt. I
Yeah,
mean,
because then
and that's not against Caleb. Caleb was a great quarterback. Bear was
Caleb
doing
was-
great until he got hurt.
that's true. So I didn't play I won state with them the next year, but I didn't play my senior year because I wanted to play basketball. Tristan did play his senior year because he's starting off.
Starting
Yeah,
left
yeah.
guard.
Yeah. The starter Caleb, who would have been behind, he was the third string the first year we went to state. He was going to be so good. Fractured his back squatting in the offseason. It was horrific.
Dang.
The week before
Yeah.
the season started.
That was horrible, man. I can't believe, and they didn't have. That was such a dumb injury. It should never have happened. So they had to play a freshman. The freshman actually kind of learned the offense and was doing pretty all right. Broke his
Surprisingly
collarbone
good.
in the third game of the year. And
The
so they had to
biggest game
play-
we played all year.
They had to play a receiver at QB the whole year, and he didn't do bad.
Bro, what?
No,
Super
hey, you
athletic.
know what? I loved Jabin before that season, but that season made me love Jabin 100 times more. That dude is a
Bro,
dog.
For real. Like,
He had not played quarterback. He was a junior that year. He had not played quarterback since 8th grade.
Dang.
Yeah,
that
and
throw
then-
he made in the game against Skipstone, that was like a 60, 70-yard touchdown to Carson. That was a crazy
Yeah,
throw.
dude, I think we won four out of the 5 games we had him start in, I think.
Yeah.
Wow.
Y'all made it work.
We
And
were
so
a
then
good team. The offense
ended up
just
losing
never had
in the final.
consistency.
Yeah. That was kind of hard to watch because there were a lot of things they couldn't do because Jabin just wasn't a true quarterback. But they did
Yeah.
run him a lot, so that kind of worked.
Well,
Anyway.
and then nothing against Tate either, but we had our starting right guard had never played offensive line before that year.
That's
And we had a
true.
much better guy on the bench most of the year.
Anyway, Maddoc, that's the lore behind it.
I could talk about it for hours. That season, yeah.
Oh,
Great,
should have
really
had
fun
3.
year, though. Really fun year.
Yeah, that team was a really fun team. I didn't
Listen,
play, but I
yeah.
watched a lot of the games.
It was.
We
it
should-
was
we
a
should
really
also-
fun season.
We should also play some football when I'm down there.
Definitely.
Yeah, we could totally go for it. That'd be fun.
I'm like a goated slot receiver.
Hey, Cooper
Oh, I
Cup.
can see that. I was gonna say Cooper Cup.
He's gonna hit.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Because I'm yeah.
You got the Chris Hogan build.
The Chris Hogan. Bro. Hey, Patriots. Chris Hogan. Julian Edelman.
You don't.
Yeah.
Wes Welker.
Since I get way more usage than Julian Edelman ever did.
I have not. Oh, switching topics, man, to movies. I have not watched a movie in ages because now I'm trying to binge Attack on Titan. Apparently,
Dude.
it's really good. Ford really liked it.
I was
So far-
watching. I was doing great
alright.
this month, watching movies, and then my job decided to give me 38 hours, 43 hours, and 38 hours.
Dang.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy. Maddoc, you saw F1 though. Was that good?
Yeah, I've seen it twice.
I
It
saw
was
you
really
saw it
good.
Twice. Yeah.
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 Not intentionally, but like 2 different friend groups wanted to see it, so I was like, yeah, let's.
I want to see it.
Did you see it with Micah?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. 'Cause I
They're-
saw you watched it at the same time, so I was kind of like, oh.
Yeah, they're up here for my graduation party, so we went and saw it. Yeah.
Yeah, bro, he's been watching a lot more movies that like 3 or 4 years ago. I'm like, I could have never seen him watching those movies.
I know.
It's like, has he changed a lot?
No, not really. Not at all, actually.
Oh, he's just watching movies now.
Yeah.
That's funny. Good for him.
When I go down there, we need to watch Fantastic Four.
And Superman.
Dude, I'm about to see Fantastic Four like 4
I-
times in theaters. Don't even.
I can pass on Superman.
No.
You're excited about that?
Dude, I'm up here for Superman. I'm right here for Fantastic Four.
It might be like the Superman,
This Superman
might be like
movie,
Iron
everything
Man.
about it is everything
or
I've wanted
DC.
about it. This movie
Interesting.
is Superman. I hated Zack Snyder so much. I hated that.
He said, "Get this guy off of the screen."
What I said to my coworker last night because I was talking about the same thing. Zack Snyder has a fundamental misunderstanding of Superman and Batman as characters.
That's true. I do not like Zack Snyder either. But
I hate Zack
The
Snyder.
amount of
And anything that's just the opposite of what Zack Snyder would do is great.
That came from the Batman vs Superman, though. I love that.
Batman vs Superman is my least favorite movie.
You smell that spirit
Dang.
or whatever. Oh yeah, Maddoc. Do you think F1 is better than Ford versus Ferrari?
No, Ford vs Ferrari is one of my
I
favorite movies.
need
I
to
love
see
Ford
Ford
vs
vs.
That's
Ferrari.
true. Yeah.
They're
What's
just
the
on
other
Hulu, I think.
racing movie called that has Chris Hemsworth and the other guy in it?
I have not seen that one.
I want to see that. Supposedly people say that's better than Ford vs Ferrari because it has more like character development between both guys, and the racing's still really good. So I need to watch that too, and then I'll
Doubt,
see.
but
I don't know. It looks
I
alright.
was also still like Top Gun Maverick better than F1 since it's the same director. I'm still a Maverick stan.
Yeah.
Top Gun Maverick
Why do you love Top Gun Maverick so much? I'm just curious.
It's just such a pure movie. Like it's so exciting and awesome, and the ending is so heartwarming, and it makes me smile. I don't know. I love it so much.
That's fair. Yeah, that's all valid. I was just curious as to why. So there you go.
Yeah.
That checks out. Yeah, because
Just everything about it is like exactly what I love about movies.
I haven't seen
in
either
theaters
Top
too,
Gun.
man.
You've never seen Top Gun Maverick? Dude,
I've never seen either Top Gun.
you gotta watch it. It's so good.
I
Oh
don't-
my
Not rated
gosh.
the first Top Gun. I have seen.
I
both
don't
of
care
them,
for
so-
Tom Cruise.
Okay, buddy.
Tom Cruise is so good. I love him.
I don't care. I don't know. Something about like even when I watched Eyes Wide Shut, I was just like, that's Tom Cruise. There's some actors like they take me out of it, and Tom Cruise is one of them.
Yeah, but Top Gun Maverick, he's supposed to be Tom Cruise.
That's fair. That's fair. That's also why I don't care about the Mission Impossible movies.
I haven't watched any of them. I need to watch the Mission Impossible movies.
Dang,
I
you guys are really Tom Cruise
I don't.
skeptics.
Outside of this is a really dumb take, but outside of the Marvel and DC movies, I don't care about action movies.
Okay, buddy.
Dang,
It's a
okay.
horrible take. I know. The only reason I care about Marvel and DC is just because that's what I grew up on.
Okay, that's fair.
They released a date for the Christopher Nolan Odyssey movie. It's coming out next year in July, like 6th or something.
Yeah.
We're all hyped.
There's also a trailer in the theaters.
Yeah, I saw that. I didn't see it, but I heard that it was in there.
I love how they just snuck Tom Holland into that cast.
Yeah,
Like, oh, yeah.
I'm kind of worried about that movie.
I'm not. It's gonna be good. I don't know.
Is it gonna be better than Oh Brother Where Art Thou?
That's
I've never seen that.
It's a really good. It's a really
is
good
so
movie.
funny. You'll laugh.
It's so good.
John Goodman, man, as the Cyclops.
Yeah, it's a great
love
movie.
it.
That's my mom's favorite movie.
It really.
Dang.
Yeah.
That's funny. That's a good favorite movie to have. I'm not gonna lie. One of those like wild card movies, but it's funny.
Yeah.
George Clooney is so funny in that movie.
They wrote that role for Clooney, the Coen Brothers.
Actually though, his Dapper Dan like hairstyle, how he's always arranging his hair.
Great movie.
Yeah, you'll love it, Maddoc. It's so funny. Damn it, we're in a tight
I'll
spot.
give that a watch.
Yeah.
All right, I gotta head out, but
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Yeah, it's 11:40 here. I need to go to bed.
yes.
Actually get some sleep. All right. This has been episode 13 of the Peat podcast. James, Maddoc, and Tristan signing off.